if you don't know who Murilo Santana is, you are in for something special. In my opinion, there are only a few people in Jiu-Jitsu who are true masters of real pressure passing. And Murilo is one of the originals. A lot of pressure passers you watch today are basically newer version of Murilo's style. And he is going against Felipe Pena, who is one of the most accomplished athletes ever. Let's start right away because this will be amazing. And Murilo straight away entering into over-under passing. Felipe is trying to push the head of Murilo, but he gave him a momentum so he can throw by the legs of Felipe Pena. And guys, I've seen a lot of over-under passers who are very good at that position. But that position is only good if you can enter there. So many people are very good if you do specific sparring from that position and they start from there. But the real fight for this position is how you can manage to enter into over-under. Especially today, people are so good putting spider, lasso, and keeping you at a distance playing collar sleeve guard. So if you don't know how to enter into over-under, this position will be useless. So when you are training, sometimes only do entering into this position. And if you manage to get over-under, just restart. Give every guard to your opponent and then try to get into over-under again, you see. So don't just like get this position and pass their guard and smash them from side control. Give them space so they can recover and then try to get the position again, you see. This is very important for this position because it is very tricky to getting it. But after you get it, it is much easier to pass the guard of your opponent. And Felipe Pena is doing amazing job holding the cross collar of Murilo Santana. So it's hard for Murilo to use his right shoulder to put pressure on the hip of Felipe Pena, you see. He needs that right shoulder of his to put pressure on the right hip of Felipe Pena. This is very important. Also, Felipe Pena is looking all the time to free his bottom leg, in this case his left leg. This is also very important because only then he can manage to play guard as he likes. Because right now he's just like completely stuck in defending the over-under of Murilo Santana. So it is very important to bring his bottom leg out and put it on the biceps or a lasso guard, something like that. But if he stays like this, he's just absorbing the pressure of Murilo. And Murilo is going into tripod position all the time when he has good grips. So he's putting all of his weight on Felipe Pena, which is very, very important to tire your opponent. And now this is very deep, but Felipe Pena is very good at bringing his knee lines back inside. And now he's going into tripod position, but Murilo transitioned into double under position. And guys, when Murilo Santana is in double under, he is completely different than 99% of the people. He's not staying on his knees. He's doing a tripod position and putting every inch of pressure on you as he can. And also he's using his head to move forward. Pay attention how he's using his head from these positions. And I've seen a lot of people who play double under and they stay on the knees and mostly wait for the opponent on bottom to make a mistake so they can react off their mistake. But I don't think this is a good idea because right now people are just getting better and better. And if you wait on a mistake, it might not happen because you are not putting real pressure on your opponent. So he can stay comfortable and not make mistakes. But Murilo is constantly putting pressure, so he's making Felipe Pena overreact from bottom, you see. But if he stays on the knees, Murilo Santana, it will be much easier for Felipe Pena to recover and just chill in some positions where he has space to chill. But right now he's under attack all the time, and this is very deep. That was very deep. But Felipe Pena pushing that right shoulder of Murilo Santana. Pay attention also how he's holding the sleeves of Murilo Santana. It is very important you don't give deep grips to Murilo Santana, because if the arms of Murilo Santana are free, he will hack your hips for sure. Also, maybe he can get a cross collar position here with his hands. So it is very, very important to never let your opponent lock their hands and also jump over the bottom knee line of yours, you see. This is very important. If you see Murilo Santana, he's fighting for that all the time. He is trying to go over the bottom knee line of Felipe Pena. And Felipe Pena is trying to recover his bottom knee all the time. This is the fight here. The bottom knee is very important. But now Murilo Santana, maybe he can even transition into knee slice from this position. Imagine if he was playing like tripod, passing like Joseph Chen from here. Just forcing butterfly half guard and trying to pass from there. But Murilo Santana had very similar style to what Joseph Chen does. But he did not like that butterfly hook, so he's taking it out and trying to go into positions like this. Now he's over, like he's completely over the knee line of Felipe Pena, over the both knee lines of Felipe Pena with his arms and shoulders. This is very deep position for Murilo Santana. But if you know Felipe Pena, one of the best guard retention players in the world. So I am sure that he will fight hard to not give a complete pass to Murilo Santana. But Murilo Santana is so deep. I will be surprised if Felipe Pena managed to get his guard back without completely spacing out from bottom. Because this is very deep. I think he will need to push a lot. He's trying to hold the right sleeve of Murilo Santana, which will help for not locking hands Murilo Santana. It will be hard for Murilo to lock the hands of his. But as of right now, it looks brutal for Felipe Pena. He's trying to push the shoulder of Murilo Santana, but if you watch the head of Murilo Santana, he's completely stuck to the right hip of Felipe Pena. And when the head of Murilo Santana is on the right hip of Felipe Pena, the right shoulder of Murilo Santana is completely stuck to the hip. So it is much harder for Felipe Pena to push that shoulder, that right shoulder of Murilo. That is very important. Head positioning from top, it is very important. And if you watch Murilo Santana matches, or Bernardo Farias, or Roger Gracie's matches, their head positioning is perfect. That head positioning is so important when you try to go for over-under passing, guys. Very important. But as of right now, this is over. So, because he's over both of the legs of Felipe Pena. And you can transition from over-under to over. That is very important transition that the high-level people are doing from this over-under position. Instead of playing just over-under and underhooking that top leg of the opponent, they will try to jump over that leg, you see, with their arm and hug it just like this, you see, over the hips, instead of using underhook all the time. You need to transition from one to another, because some people will be very heavy. When you have that underhook, they will be very heavy with their top leg. So they will push it down. And that is the exact moment you need to jump over with your arm, you see, from underhooking to overhooking their leg and hugging the hip, just like this, just like Murilo Santana is right now. And I still don't know how Felipe Pena will manage to free himself from this position, because he has that knee shield, but Murilo Santana is holding the hip of Felipe Pena. If you watch the left arm of Murilo, he is holding the hip and it is very tight grip. So I don't know how Felipe Pena will manage to get rid of this position. It is so hard. And now again Murilo Santana is smashing the hips. Let's see if he'll do like a windshield wiper from here, because this looks like a perfect position for that. And then go on the left side. Felipe Pena just using active butterfly hooks. Yeah, now he's windshield wiping over. Just amazing. And Felipe Pena is forced to turtle, so he does not give the points. Also Murilo Santana, because when he passes, his pressure grips are so tight. This is the most important thing about pressure passing. When you pass, you are so tight to your opponent. It is so hard for them to even do explosive movements so they can recover the guard. So mostly they will go into turtle so slowly, it is so easy for you to take the back or just stay into side or take mount position, you see. This is very important. That is why I like so much pressure passing, because when people are passed, they cannot explode and go into turtle and do something like crazy shoulder roll. That is very fast and you need to follow them very fast, because your grips are perfect from top. It is so easy for you to take a good position and take points. That is very important in my opinion. And now Murilo Santana is completely on the back, going for armbar. Let's see. I think he will try to hug the leg of Felipe Pena, because Felipe Pena is trying to sit up. But maybe he will completely just try to finish it right. Yeah, he hugged the leg. Amazing job. The bottom leg, in my opinion, is a good option, because Felipe Pena cannot bring his bottom leg under him, so he can high stop from this position and put pressure from this defensive armbar position of his, you see. But if you hold the bottom leg, he cannot like get it under him and sit up. So that is why Murilo Santana is holding that leg. It is so hard for the person to just like sit up. But Murilo Santana, not many people know, like if he gets past your guard, most of the time he's finishing matches. And this looks like it will be finished. He's getting deeper and deeper, now going on the wrist. Yeah, this is over. He just submitted Felipe Pena. How crazy is that? You almost never seen his guard pass in the gi. Almost never. So this is just amazing work, amazing from Murilo Santana. And if you guys want to study this kind of passing, there is a lot of matches from Bernardo Faria, from Murilo Santana, from Roger Gracie, and also Devante Johnson, who is student of Murilo Santana. He's amazing at this, amazing. Hey guys, most people study Jiu-Jitsu through instructionals that look clean, but they don't show what actually works under pressure. Here we learn from matches, where technique is proven when everything's on the line. That's how you cut through the noise and see what truly works when it matters. On my Patreon, you'll find free breakdowns from the newest matches I can't post on YouTube, full studies, and complete guides, all built to help you improve faster and train smarter. You can start free right now. The link's in the description and pinned comment. And if you're new, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss the next study.